My sister tried to ruin Christmas, so I gave her a present she never expected. Christmas at our house was always Clarissa's show. Every ornament had to be perfectly placed, every meal timed to the minute. She was the conductor, and we were her unwilling orchestra. I thought she would all freak. Butiar something to adake. Clarissa's smile was a little too bright, her voice a little too sharp when she told Mom where to sit. She kept darting looks at her purse like it held state secrets. I tried to brush it off as her usual holiday stress, but my gut was screaming that something was wrong. My sister, the queen of Christmas perfection, was hiding something big. While everyone was distracted by the pre-dinner chatter, I decided to do some snooping. I know, not my finest moment, but I had a terrible feeling. I found her purse sitting on the bed in the guest room. I hesitated for a second, my hand hovering over the clasp. This felt like a line I shouldn't cross. But then I remembered the way she snapped at our uncle for putting his coat on the wrong chair and the strained look on our mom's face. I had to know what was going on. Inside, tucked beneath her wallet, was a thick manila folder. My heart started pounding. I pulled it out, and the words on the top page made my blood run cold. Durable power of attorney, and last will, and testament. My mom's name was all over them, but the handwriting wasn't hers. It was Clarissa's. I flipped through the pages, my hand shaking. Clarissa had drafted documents that would give her complete control over Mom's finances. Her medical decisions, everything. She'd even written a new will that heavily favored herself, practically cutting me and our brother out entirely. The worst part, there were signature lines waiting for my mom to sign, dated for today. Christmas Day. Then I found it a neatly typed out schedule. It detailed the entire evening, from appetizers to the main course. And right after dessert, at 8:15 p.m., was a note, announce Mom's new arrangements. Get signatures. My sister was planning to corner our mother, full of holiday cheer and good food, and manipulate her into signing away her autonomy. She was going to ambush her in front of the whole family, counting on the festive atmosphere to silence any objections. It was a perfectly calculated, cold-hearted plan. The anger I felt was so intense it almost made me dizzy. This wasn't just about control anymore. This was a hostile takeover of our mother's life. Clarissa wasn't just organizing Christmas, she was staging a coup. I had to stop her. But how? Confronting her privately would just lead to a screaming match, and she'd deny everything. She was an expert at twisting words and playing the victim. Then an idea sparked. It was risky, and it was definitely not in the spirit of Christmas, but it was the only way. Clarissa wanted a grand announcement. I was going to give her one she'd never forget. I took my phone, and page by page, I photographed every single document. The power of attorney, the will, her manipulative little schedule. Then I went back downstairs, my face a perfect mask of holiday calm. I had a present of my own to prepare. Dinner was tense. Clarissa was in her element, directing conversation, refilling wine glasses with a controlling flourish. Mom, you should try the sweet potatoes. They're your favorite, she'd say, her voice dripping with fake concern. I could barely eat. Every time she smiled at our mom, all I could see were those legal documents. I just had to wait for the right moment. The time came after dessert. Just as Clarissa cleared her throat to make her big announcement, I stood up. Actually, Clarissa, I said, my voice steady, before you begin, I have a little Christmas surprise for everyone. I held up the TV remote. The family looked confused. Clarissa's eyes narrowed with suspicion. I put together a little slideshow. I explained. A trip down memory lane. I'd spent the last hour connecting my phone to the smart TV with one click. The first image flashed onto the 65-inch screen hanging over the fireplace. It wasn't a cute baby photo. It was the first page of the power of attorney document, crystal clear, for everyone to see. A collective gasp went through the room. My uncle squinted at the screen. What is this? My mom looked utterly bewildered. Clarissa's face went white. Before she could react, I clicked to the next image, the new will, with its lopsided inheritance. Tikens the next day evening, what? I just let the evidence speak for itself. The room was dead silent, except for the quiet clicks of the remote. With each new image, Clarissa's perfect Christmas facade crumbled. The fake smiles, the bossy commands it all, snapped into focus for everyone. It wasn't about making a perfect holiday. It was about laying the groundwork for the perfect deception. Finally, I landed on the last picture, a close-up of the line item on her schedule that read, "Get signatures." I turned to face her. The silence was deafening. Clarissa was frozen, her face a mixture of shock and pure rage. Her mask was gone, and what was left was ugly. Our aunt was the first to speak. "Clarissa, what have you done?" Her voice was barely a whisper, but it cut through the tension like a knife. My mom just stared at the screen, then at Clarissa, her eyes welling with tears. "You were going to make me sign these. Tonight." The hurt in her voice was devastating. "You think I'm not capable of making my own decisions?" Clarissa finally found her voice, but it was shaky. "It's not what it looks like. I was just trying to help. Mom's getting older. She needs someone to look after things. Look after things or take them over." Our brother shot back, pointing at the screen. "This looks like you're trying to take everything." The room erupted. Relatives who had been smiling and laughing just minutes before were now looking at Clarissa with disgust and disbelief. The Christmas she had so perfectly constructed had become her public trial, and she was guilty as sin. Humiliated and exposed, she grabbed her coat and stormed out of the house, slamming the door behind her. The festive atmosphere was completely gone, replaced by a heavy, awkward silence. My mum was crying softly, and my aunt was trying to comfort her. I felt a grim sense of satisfaction, but it was hollow. I had won, but the victory felt awful. I had exposed my sister, but I had also shattered my family on Christmas Day. About an hour later, the front door opened quietly. Clarissa stood in the doorway, her face tear-stained and stripped of all its usual arrogance. The fight was gone. She walked over to our mom and knelt down. "I'm so sorry. Mom," she whispered, her voice cracking. I was so obsessed with being in control, with making sure everything was perfect, that I lost sight of everything that actually matters. I was wrong. Then she turned to me. She was holding a small, gift-wrapped box. The one I'd seen her hide earlier. "This was supposed to be a real present," she said, handing it to me. I opened it. Inside was a delicate silver bracelet with 2 interlocking hearts-a-sister charm. Her eyes met mine, filled with genuine remorse. "I miss us," she said. "I know I have a lot to fix. Premier one tout autre. If you let me in that moment, I realize it's show you on that's dark." The real victory was this. It was forcing her to look at the ugly truth of what she'd become and, for the first time, actually wanting to change. The rest of the evening was quiet and fragile, but it was honest. We didn't fix everything in one night, but as we sat together, we weren't playing roles in Clarissa's perfect Christmas anymore. We were just a family, broken but trying to find our way back. And for the first time in a long time, that felt like a real reason to celebrate. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.